right, let's talk about 5 free tools that I use to start my business, and you can use them to grow and launch your business too. So, in the early stage of business, there are some tools that you're going to need, not a bunch, because a tool can easily become a distraction. But I want to talk about essential tools that you need in order to get your business off the ground and get rolling. So, I'm going to walk through them. We got 5. So, let's kick it off with the first one. The first one is Zoom. So I started with Zoom to not just do one-on-one calls with clients, potential clients, but I also use Zoom to host workshops and webinars. And so in the early stage of my business, webinars is what I was using to generate leads in my business. It was also what I was using as one of my early offers of paid workshops, paid group coaching. So Zoom was an essential tool that allowed me to actually connect with folks. And then I also used Canva, which is the second free tool that I've leveraged in my business because that allowed me to create some digital assets that positioned me to build awareness around my business. So when I say digital assets, I used Canva to make social media graphics. I used it to make workbooks. I used it to create like thumbnails, profile pins, things that would allow me to be able to put my business out there. I used it to create program one sheets, business one sheets. And so Canva was the way that I was able to brand my business in the early stage. Now, here's the thing I'll say about Canva, because I think Canva is a place where you can easily get distracted and spend too much time to where actually you start losing money because you playing in Canva unnecessarily. This is where it's really important to keep a bar of what's good enough, right?
Hey y'all, I want to take a quick moment to pop in. I know the episode's getting really juicy, but I could not miss the opportunity to make sure that you know that we are headed to Atlanta October 3rd through 5th for 7-Figure Educator Live. This is my 3-day live event. It is the only 3-day live event for education consultants who are out here making a big impact and getting a big bank. And even if you feel like your bank ain't that big yet, I want you in the room because that's how your bank gets bigger, okay? I have curated a very special 3-day agenda that includes powerhouse speakers, 7, 8, 9-figure speakers, intentional networking to find your people, to find your next opportunity. Y'all, we're getting ready to take the city over, and we taking it over at a 5-star property, okay? Meet me in Atlanta October 3rd through 5th. Grab your ticket by heading to 7figureeducator.com. I'll link it in the show notes, and I'll see you there.
I remember my very first logo I made in Canva. It was literally a pink dot with my initials EJT. It took me less than 5 minutes to make, made it, and kept it moving. So Canva is the second tool. The third tool is actually an invoicing tool. And it's been about 8 years since I started my business. So the actual tool that I used, I'm actually going to recommend a newer, updated version of the tool because I think there's a free tool that's actually way better than the free invoicing tool that I used at the time. But it's Wave. Wave is the third tool that I'd recommend. Again, I didn't personally use it in my business when I started because Wave, it might have been around, but I hadn't heard of it. But Wave has came on my radar in the past couple of years, and I think it's actually a really great, solid bookkeeping tool, accounting tool to start with in your business. There'll be a stage of business where you're going to outgrow Wave, but it's a free invoicing tool. Will allow you to send invoices, track your income and expenses. That is essential when you're starting your business. Next up, the fourth free tool that I had in my business was I needed some type of tool that would allow me to send mass emails to multiple people at one time. And so I remember first starting in my business, I would literally copy and paste everyone into the BCC line of a Gmail email and send it out. And it was just so incredibly inefficient. And that's when I learned about email marketing software, which allows you to maintain and build an email list to where you can email multiple people at one time. So the email marketing tool I started with in business, which has a free version, is Kit. It used to be called ConvertKit, but would highly recommend Kit to you and being able to actually start with building your email list and being able to communicate to your email list in a really efficient way.
Hey there! I know I'm jumping in at a really juicy part of the episode, but I wanted to make sure you knew about a super special opportunity that me and my team have available. So imagine if you had a 90-day plan that outlines every single step you need to take every single week in order to generate at least 10K. At least 10K in your business. And that's exactly what me and my team do during our 7-figure strategic planning intensive. It is a live 6-hour workshop where we walk you through building your 90-day strategic plan to make more money in your business. Now, you have the opportunity to join us at our next intensive. And in order to do so, just click the link in the show notes to book a call with my team so we can tell you all about it. All right, we'll jump back into the episode and let's get back to this good fire content.
And then lastly, the last tool that I use, the last free tool that I use to be able to grow my business, this one might be a little intuitive, but I think so many people miss it as an opportunity, is social media. And so I was really big on social media and still am now, but really thoughtful to leverage social media as a marketing platform because it is the only free marketing platform that allows you to generate and build awareness around your business. If you think about other strategies of marketing, they're usually either really time intensive or they cost. Social media is a non negotiable when it comes to marketing. And so you choose your anchor platform. I don't think it's best to prioritize all the platforms, but I say choose one anchor platform and then repost content to the other one. So create for your anchor platform. If that's IG, create content for IG, cross post it in other places. So that way you can still show up in other places, but you can keep a focus. So those are the 5 tools, free tools that I use to get started in my business. Let me know in the comments if you use these tools too, how they've worked for you in business, if there's other free tools that you have found lots of meaning in your business. Would love to know what those are. And if you found this episode to be really helpful, I want you to share it with a friend and hit that subscribe button. I will see you back here on the next video.